People often talk about Hollow Knight Silksong being a hard game, and it certainly can be, but it can also become an extremely easy game if you know how to break the game's systems open and abuse everything that is offered to you. In fact, you can beat the final boss of the game without attacking once and by essentially doing nothing. And all of this starts with this little blue tool, the Wisp Fire Lantern. This is an item that was recently buffed, and what it does is that it passively takes a bar of silk away from Hornet to generate those little wisps that automatically track and home in on enemies, sometimes poorly, as you can see it trying to attack the worms through the wall there. But when you're not in the worm ways, this is a very strong tool to use, and for our purposes, it lets us kill things by doing absolutely nothing. And note, that title will be addressed in the future. You're not hallucinating. It does say what it looks like it says. But in addition to the Wisp-Fire Lantern, did you know you can also gain HP in Silksong by doing nothing? And also, you can equip the Memory Crystal, and then you can take damage and deal damage. Another way to do things in this game while doing nothing. But really the key to this whole strategy is the Plasmium File and the Architect's Crest. I am here in the Wormway right now because in case a lot of people didn't still know, like there are people still finding out things about Silksong every day, you can overdose on lifeblood or plasmium in this game as Hornet. By having, I believe it's 9 or more lifeblood hearts as Hornet, you will get to a special state. And that is only normally achievable by utilizing the Architect Crest if you're not in Act 3. You see, by gaining enough silk with Architect Crest, you can rebuild tools without sitting on a bench and getting rid of all of your lifeblood plasmium hearts. So, I'm going to do that right now with the Craft Bind ability, and I will inject Hornet repeatedly until she completely loses control of it. And because she's lost control of all of the plasmium in her system, it has now taken her over. And that's great for us, because that means that we get a beautiful, passive source of HP. And that means I can just sit here doing nothing while I spawn attack wisps and I heal in case I ever take damage. So that was my whole plan for this video. Go to Grandmother Silk and destroy her with this. First, immediate correction for you. You must set up this whole infinite HP lifeblood state while you are right in the terminus if you want to get this working against Grandmother Silk. I made the mistake of doing everything you just saw in this video and assuming going through the bellways wouldn't get rid of your plasmium filled state. It does. Don't do that. Make sure you have at least 5 files in each use and bring enough silk to build more before resting at your bench. Now, let's see if we can beat Grandmother Silk by doing nothing.
Failure!
Okay, so I learned you can't beat God by sitting still like a potted plant. You probably have to move a bit to dodge stuff. But hey, that's why the video title isn't how to beat Grandmother Silk by doing absolutely nothing. I said almost. If you look there very closely, there is an almost. So what I will be doing instead, I will be allowing myself to jump and walk, and that is it. Anything beyond that, I feel breaks the point of this video. I really wanted to show off winning by having to put in as little active work as possible as Hornet, and realistically, having her not attack, having her not able to bind to heal herself, and having her not able to even dash or use her movement abilities, it still would be pretty impressive for Hornet to take down the goddess of Farloom by just walking around a bit and jumping. And I'll tell you, It's very much possible, and it was very entertaining to do so. No one's gonna watch the rest 8 minutes of this video. You know what? I'm gonna return at this point and just live commentate over this footage. I wasn't doing it before because there was nothing to talk about, and there still is nothing to talk about, but I worry that just making jokey edits every so often will not be meaningful enough content to get people to actually want to sit through this nonsense. And let me tell you, sitting through this nonsense for me was boring. Because while I am jumping, this truly does feel like playing through this game doing nothing. I've seen people talk about pacifist runs, and that was just dumb. A Hollow Knight Silksong. But the problem with those is that every person I've seen trying to call a run a pacifist run is using tools and just not using their nail. And that's fine, but that's not a pacifist run. It's a different challenge. It's a tool only challenge. But this right here, with Fire Lantern and very rarely the memory crystal only run, this is a true pacifist run. And I know it's pacifism because it is boring me to tears. And I'm not playing Undertale right now, okay? This game is not meant for pacifism. It's not meant to be entertaining while you sit back and do nothing. Hornet lusts for blood, and I do too. And I feel like all the intensity of this fight is being fully carried by the music, the sound effects, the screams, and everything like that. So you know what? For the rest of this fight, why don't we just get rid of that? We all know this isn't really that exciting. Hornet's not having a tough time here. She's moving an inch every couple of seconds. And that's it. Grandmother Silk is trying her darndest to demolish us, and I think this video is why I and other people said Grandmother Silk is way too weak as the final boss. I know that she has lore reasons to be weak. She's not meant to be the strongest god, the strongest pale deity in this world, but she is very easy. And I'm sorry for everyone who has struggled with her. It is not me saying that your struggles are invalid or that no one has ever struggled against Grandmother Silk. But compared to a lot of other bosses in this game, she really just does not have that much going on with her. She has double damage attacks in her needles, but once you can avoid those, she pretty much has nothing left that poses any threat to you. But that's why I'm able to do this rigmarole with barely trying. And I think I have a question for everyone who is still watching this content and listening to me commentate over it. When you have these types of videos, and there's a lot of other videos and challenge runs through games like the Dark Souls series, where people will go and try to beat the whole game with just their bare fists, or with some incredibly weak weapon, where boss fights take 30 minutes to an hour. Is there anyone out there who actually watches those entire videos? Frankly, I'm amazed that any of you are still here watching this 8 to 10 minute boss attempts, and that's a lot shorter than a lot of these fights can go. When I started this video, I was hoping I would just be able to put down my controller and let Hornet solo everything by healing so quickly and letting the lantern do all the damage, but as you all saw earlier, that didn't exactly come to pass. So I think realistically what I should be doing at this point is not treating this as some boring ordeal, some boss fight that has to be overcome. No, this should be something to relax to. And that's why the music is what it is right now. We may be fighting for the fate of Farloom, and Hornet may be confronting the enemy who captured her and tried to destroy her, but at the end of the day, if it's this easy to do so, then why make this a stressful occasion? Why listen to the music and sound effects provided by the game when we can just chill out and let a little wisp do everything for us? And I say that as I'm close to death, and this is where you think it might be getting stressful, but it's not, because this is the only attempt I needed to do this at all. I did not die once I actually started to give a little bit of control to Hornet. So that should show you how easy it is to beat Grandmother Silk by doing basically nothing at all. What a god you've got there, Farloom. I know it's a point I'm repeating, but it boggles my mind how simple this can be. I wonder if I can do something like this with Lost Lace and see if it would, maybe the strategy is just overpowered and it's not Grandmother Silk's fault. In which case, I apologize sincerely. But you saw her scream a bit ago. That means she's already almost dead in this phase. And I've done nothing and have almost nothing to show off for my attempts. And that's it. She's gone. It's over. We're done. Except we're not done, because doing nothing means I can't bind. So we will never finish this fight. We've successfully beaten Grandmother Silk into submission and gotten to the point where we could at any point bind. But we have a personal decision that we cannot bind. So instead, I will be leaving the game in this state forever. So, mission success. We have beaten Grandmother Silk by doing almost nothing at all. If this video gets, let's say 10,000 likes, I'll do a whole playthrough of the game like this. And I'm saying 10,000 because I don't want to do a whole playthrough of the game like this. So please, never get close to that amount of likes. If you want to find more random nonsense content about Hollow Knight Silksong, check out my channel, and have a good day, everyone.